It's a nice day. I should have gone and done this outside maybe. Welcome back to another video here on the George Benson Football channel. Today we're going to be taking a look through the Sunday papers, but we're going to be doing it on the BBC Gossip column. You know how this little series works. We go through the BBC Gossip column, the football column, and we talk about potential transfer stories, potential contract extensions, managerial appointments. You get the drill. You know how this works now. I wish I did actually have like the physical newspapers to look through, but I'm in Sweden. That is the city map of Sweden behind me, and I don't have access to all of the newspapers that try to make up crazy transfer stories in order to sell more papers on a Sunday morning. My granddad does it. He goes down there, he buys all the papers, he gets like 3 or 4 papers on a Sunday, and then it just ends up in the recycling, and then there's another one the next day. That's kind of how it works. The BBC Gossip column, 2019. That's the way we're going to do it today. And the first one that I've seen, I don't want this channel, and I know I said this when the channel was first born, and it's kind of gone the opposite way to what I said. I don't just want this to be like a Chelsea fan reaction channel where I react to games and I react to stories and all that stuff, but we've kind of been in the news a lot recently and it's been of interest, so of course I've been making videos about it. This story is from the Mail on Sunday, and it involves one of my favourite ever Chelsea players, Diego Costa. Everton owner Farhad Moshiri wants the Toffees to look into signing Atletico Madrid and Spain striker Diego Costa. He's 30 years old as he looks to make a statement signing this summer. You could say that Everton have kind of overspent and underachieved over the past few summers. They had a very good end to last season, which is positive for the Toffees, and if you're an Everton fan, you probably look at your club talking about someone like Diego Costa and you get very excited. It shows ambition. Yes, it would be a marquee signing, which is what this article is all about, but I just don't want this to happen. Diego Costa, they don't make strikers like Diego Costa anymore. People aren't born to be like Diego Costa anymore. Everyone's like, he's a proper footballer, he's a proper striker, he's aggressive, he's in your face, he's a bully. And that is what strikers used to be in world football, and they're just not quite made like him anymore. So to see him not play for Chelsea and play in the Premier League would be kind of heartbreaking for me. Everton nearly signed him in 2017, and his strained relationship with Atletico Madrid means a summer departure from the Spanish capital is likely. Let's also look at the fact that Alvaro Morata, who I said in my video yesterday, was kind of like, how the hell have Chelsea managed to recoup the money that we actually spent on Morata to offload him to Atletico Madrid? This could end up being a problem for Chelsea. If Diego Costa goes to Everton, God forbid things don't go well for Frank Lampard this season, we could be competing with teams like Everton next season. And if they're going to make marquee signings such as Diego Costa, who would be very good at Everton, let me just add that on right there, it could be a bit of a nightmare and it could all go full circle. And because, well, I can imagine if Chelsea were looking to spend money this summer, if we could, Diego Costa would be a striker that we'd be looking at as well. After things didn't go so well for Morata or Higuain, we'd look to re-sign him, but we can't. So it's irrelevant. You know, if Farhad Moshiri wants a marquee striker, look no further than Diego Costa. He's a proper striker. He's proven in the Premier League. He's only 30 years old. It's not like he's 33, 34. Like when we signed Higuain, we kind of got him way too late. Should have been 4 or 5 years ago. That is a story that I really hope, as a Chelsea fan, doesn't have any legs, but who knows? I'm sure that one will develop. Moving on to the next story, which is Man United bosses are unsure whether 26-year-old midfielder Paul Pogba will join the squad. Cut that there. The Sunday Mirror, they reported this, and then I looked on the BBC this morning when I was about to start making this video. Apparently, Pogba's travelled with the Manchester United team. What does this mean? I don't know. He's probably just literally doing it because he has to. He's still a contracted Manchester United player. Official offers haven't come in. However, I've heard some crazy ones, particularly from Real Madrid. Real Madrid are willing to offer like 70, 80 million in cash plus Isco, which, considering Pogba wants to leave, if you don't sell him, he's a very influential player in the dressing room. And if he doesn't want to be there, that negativity can be extremely impressionable on the other young players and other Manchester United players who are playing in the team. Pogba is a big character, and if he's just spreading a load of negativity around Manchester United, they really can't afford that after such a bad season last season. Solskjaer can't afford that because even though he had a great start, it all kind of dwindled and burnt out for him in the end as well. So he's immediately under pressure next season. And if Pogba doesn't want to be there, his agent has come out and said he doesn't want to be there, everybody at United knows he doesn't want to be there, the best thing to do is get rid of him. You don't want a toxic player like that in your dressing room. And if Real Madrid are offering that kind of money, and Isco, I feel as though Isco gets a bad rep. I don't know, I think maybe it's just a social media thing, but I think Isco's a great player. From what I've seen of him at Real Madrid, be that watching him live, he's an incredible, skillful player. His opportunities at Real Madrid are going to be even fewer and further between. Now that they've signed Eden Hazard as well, kind of similar players to an extent, that would be a great deal for United. And there's also potential of Gareth Bale going on loan to United as well as part of that deal from something I heard yesterday on Twitter. If there's any legs in that story, if I was United, I'd get rid of Pogba, cash in, get that money, and get one or two great players in to replace him. The Sun on Sunday have said that Fernandinho is being offered a new deal at City. Obviously, Rodri's been bought in now. They've broken their transfer record. I think we mentioned in the previous transfer video that one is likely to happen. That one's now gone through. Guardiola getting his signings done early. It also looks as though he's interested in signing Nathan Ake from Bournemouth, which would definitely pave the way for United to sign Harry Maguire from Leicester. It looks as though the only thing there that's stopping that from happening is Leicester's valuation is £85 million. I mean, okay, he had a good World Cup and he had a pretty good season for Leicester and he's English and he's only 26 years old, but 85 million for Harry Maguire. Like, what are they smoking at Leicester to think they're going to get that? I think United is so desperate at centre-back that Leicester could get 80 million. I think if we were talking about another club going in for Maguire that weren't as desperate as United are, I don't think Leicester would be honestly valuing Maguire at £85 odd million. But that's what they want for him. And if United want to fix their problems at centre-back, they might just have to pay these ridiculous sums. Since we made the last transfer video as well, of course, Rafa Benitez has left Newcastle United. When I last made one of these videos, it looked as though Newcastle were about to get taken over, which would have meant that they would have had a bucket ton of money to spend this summer, which they haven't had over recent seasons. But what the hell's going on with that takeover? It was reported, and then, yet again, nothing more to be said about it. Are Newcastle going to get bought out? Is Mike Ashley going to be finally out of that club forever? Personally, and obviously I'm not a Newcastle fan, but I would like to see Newcastle do well. When I was a young kid, Newcastle were always performing far better than they have been in recent seasons. They certainly don't belong in the Championship. And again, this season, now that they've lost Benitez, if they're not able to reinvest in that squad, they're going to be relegation fodder potentially next season as well. And they don't belong in the Championship. I want to see Newcastle in the top half of the Premier League table fighting for European places. Their away fans are some of the best that ever come to Stamford Bridge. They're always selling out St James's Park. Newcastle United fans, they deserve better. And now that Benitez is gone, there's talks that maybe he wants to bring Rondon with him wherever he goes. Apparently Sean Longstaff has come out and said that he is bitterly disappointed that Benitez has left. So he wants to leave Newcastle. And with no takeover happening by the looks of things, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Considering Arsenal don't have Champions League football as well, they need to bring in some players too. We've seen that the bid for Wilfried Zaha of 40 million was rejected by Palace. They obviously value him so much higher than 40 million. And to be honest, in the market, when you're looking at a player like Wilfried Zaha, you're going to have to spend 65 odd million for someone who's already proven in the Premier League. Without Zaha at Crystal Palace, they probably would have got relegated over the past couple of seasons. Arsenal apparently only have 40 million to spend. And if they're not going to budge on that quite ridiculous transfer budget for a team that want to be challenging, to give them a 40 million budget considering how much money has been made there over the past few seasons since obviously the completion of the Emirates Stadium. Like, what do Arsenal expect? I know the fans expect a lot more, and the board, there's all that talk and all this nonsense going on at Arsenal with the board and stuff, but you're going to have to spend more than 40 million if you want to start challenging for the Champions League properly again. I know that you did challenge last season. Come on. They're talking here about Ryan Fraser from Bournemouth, the 25-year-old Scotsman, potentially being the other option if they don't manage to get Wilfried Zaha. Obviously, Fraser had a very good season last year for Bournemouth. He was only second behind Eden Hazard in the assists table there. He was a great player, and I think he'd be good for Arsenal, but I don't think Ryan Fraser is the difference between them losing Europa League finals, finishing outside of the top four, and making that next step up. I don't see it happening. And the last one we're going to talk about today is the German goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, 33 years old. It feels as though, yes, Neuer has been around for ages, but for some reason he's one of those players that I didn't ever thought was going to age, which I know that's stupid. But I didn't think Neuer was ever going to age. He's 33 years old. That surprised me. I don't know why it surprised me. It shouldn't surprise me. He's considering leaving Bayern Munich this summer, according to his agent, because he feels the club lack ambition. Apparently, according to this German article, I mean, they win the Bundesliga every season. Yes, they've not been very close in the Champions League since they won it a few years back, and it looks as though they're sinking further behind the other big boys in European football. But where's Neuer going to go? I think the only thing that Bayern could be doing better is, of course, in the Champions League. But in terms of the teams that do well in the Champions League, he's not going to go to Liverpool, because they've got Alisson in goal, who probably is the best goalkeeper in the world right now, debatably. He's not going to go to City, because they've got Ederson. He can't go to Real Madrid, because they've just spent on Courtois last summer, and they've obviously got other priorities. He's probably not going to get in at Barcelona over to Stegen. So I don't really know where else he can go. But yeah, that brings an end to this transfer video today. A few stories. It looks as though the Sunday papers are kind of just full of all the same stuff that we've been reading for weeks now. That's why I've not been making as many of these transfer videos as I would like to, because I never really know what's going on. Because there's so much money in football now, you can't really put anything past anyone. City have spent a bit of money recently. They've bought in Rodri. Barcelona look as though they've tied up the deal for Griezmann. And Atletico have signed Morata and all that stuff. But some of these stories, like, let's go back to the Costa one. I really hope that doesn't happen. But there's a lot of clubs with money to spend, and I wouldn't put it past any of it happening. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, I love to read your comments when it comes to football. I've been trying to respond to as many comments as possible, and things have been going really, really well here on the channel, which I am very, very grateful for. If you're not yet subscribed, be sure to click the button, and if you can click the little bell, that notifies you every time I upload a video. Not always are YouTube going to be kind enough to send my videos to you. And if you click the bell, then 99 times out of 100, apparently, they send you the video to your phone or wherever it is you get your notifications. But yeah, that'd be great if you could do that. Thank you guys for all the support. I hope you've had a good weekend and a good week, and I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.